Come with me as I take you to some of my favorite cities on a long weekend. Buongiorno tutti! Together we'll explore the places I love. Oh, Palermo, what a beauty you are. Oh my word, Madrid is next to heaven. And discover places new. We put the vroom vroom into Milano. Oh my, this is astonishing. From Stockholm to Lisbon, we'll raise a glass,
Salud.
and enjoy great food. Pork that melts in your mouth. I don't think there's any delicate way of eating it.
Oh,
We'll leave the tourist trail behind. Every bone in my body has been shaken. My goodness, we are on the ice.
yes.
Oh my word. We are tacking. And seek out special places to stay. The view of Prague is magnificent. Along the way, we'll make new friends. Do you mind if we do a selfie?
Really?
And memories to last a lifetime. I think I shall always remember this. This is a beautiful moment. I have rarely seen such opulence. What an amazing sight. I am loving this. I can't wait to show you more. This weekend, I'll take you to the stunning island of Sicily. Situated in the Mediterranean at an intersection of civilizations, it has a vibrant culture and heady rhythm that sets it apart from the rest of Italy. Our adventure begins in its ancient capital, Palermo, a short flight from the United Kingdom. Home to over 600,000 people, it lies on the island's northern shore, surrounded by mountains. With delicious food, 1,000 years of history, and year-round sunshine, it has the ingredients for a perfect getaway. Welcome to Sicily, the largest island in the Mediterranean, home to Greek temples and the meeting point and the melting pot of any number of civilizations. I'm going to show you Palermo, which is the gritty capital. And between its centuries of architecture, its domed churches, its crumbling palaces, there is exotic disorder. There are crowds and the din of an ardent people, amongst whose passions is food. Stick close with me as I lead you through the alleyways and the throngs. This is going to be edgy, but it's going to make us feel alive. Over the next 3 days, I'll show you what makes this jewel of the Mediterranean so magnetic for a long weekend break. Oh, Palermo, kissed by the sun and the sea and embraced by the mountains.
Magia, magic.
We'll enjoy the best food. It's delicious, Piero, delicious.
Buono.
Cannolo with coffee. Don't leave Sicily without one. Drink. Look at that style. And places to stay. Morning has broken. We'll discover hidden neighborhoods. An art gallery. Wow. And historic treasures. This is a special moment for me. I have always wanted to see the Temple of Segesta. With so much ahead of us, our first day will be spent in Palermo's bustling city centre. We'll lose ourselves in its medieval backstreets. Oh, and we plunge into an alleyway. Create street food with a Michelin twist. I'm rather pleased with that. And learn of the island's infamous and dangerous links to organised crime.
When I was a child, the Mafia could kill whoever they wanted.
Welcome to Palermo. Today is going to be action-packed. Our long weekend begins in an historic city centre piazza outside a palazzo that housed the Spanish Inquisition when Spain ruled the island for more than 200 years. Palermo is full of wonders, both human and of nature. This forbidding bastion built from 1320. And here, a magnolia fig tree, which has grown to the size of a palace. Sei libero?
Sì.
On your visit, I'd recommend taking one of these two-seater taxis. It's a perfect way to see the city and to appreciate the mixture of cultures that have left their mark.
Let's go, Michael.
Andiamo.
Andiamo.
Let's conquer Palermo! This is marvellous. These three-wheeled taxis, known as apes, or bees in Italian, were launched by Piaggio, makers of the iconic Vespa scooter in the 1940s. And they are perfect for zipping around the winding medieval back streets. Oh, and we plunge into an alleyway. Here I could do my shopping from the ape.
Buongiorno, buongiorno.
Buongiorno, buongiorno. All of Palermo seems to be paved with large blocks. Maybe they're made of marble. They're very, very pretty.
This is marble. All the street of the city Palermo. Is it tondo, tondo?
This is all marble. That's why we're bouncing up and down so much. Everywhere you look, there's evidence of the city's rich and varied history, even in the street signs.
In this part is particular the name street. Three languages.
Oh, yes.
Italiano, Arabo, and Hebraic. It's because Palermo is multi-ethnic.
I love the buildings here. These pinks and yellows. It's really beautiful. When you're in Palermo, you have to look up at the balconies with their pot plants, with their laundry. This is real life. There's a lot of graffiti. There's a lot of rawness in the city.
Very long park.
Quite a noisy city too. From these tiny streets, we emerge for our first glimpse of one of Palermo's treasures.
This is Royal Palace, the Parliament of Sicily.
Oh, this is very beautiful, Antonio. First built as a fortress in the 9th century by the island's Muslim conquerors, the palace tells the story of Sicily's many foreign rulers.
Three styles different. This is the first part, Arabic, center Norman, and finish Spain.
Today, it's home to Sicily's government. So many trees, greenery everywhere. I love it. Viva Palermo!
Yes,
Well, I congratulate you on the beauty of your city.
the best city.
And just around the corner is another highlight. Ah, bravissimo. What a beautiful cathedral. It is a riot of different styles. It's like a jigsaw at different eras of history. So someone added a dome, someone added a tower. Another person said, why not have a clock? Anything goes. We're now in the city's most iconic street, the Via Vittorio Emanuele. Created 2,700 years ago by the Phoenicians, it still divides the city in two today.
And this, the center city.
This elaborately decorated crossroads, known as the Quattro Canti, or Four Corners, dates back to the 17th century, when the island was under Spanish control, and it features their kings of Sicily. We have these beautiful Baroque facades covered in plaques, columns, and statues. Absolutely superb. Palermo is a city that's very difficult to put your finger on. It has superb architecture of so many different styles. And then it has that grittiness, such an edge to it. Up ahead is my final stop.
You look here. It's
Wow.
Market Palermo.
Perfetto.
Market de fruit, meat, fish, street food.
Palermo Market is over 1,000 years old. It's where I'll take you next. Grazie, Antonio.
Ciao, Michael.
Ciao. Buon viaggio.
Ciao.
The island's history of foreign invaders has bequeathed a rich cultural heritage. There's nowhere better to experience it than in Palermo, the largest and most colourful street market in the historic neighbourhood of Albergheria.
Mamma mia! Margherite, fragole e margherite.
It's boisterous and noisy. It's multi-ethnic. It is picturesque and colourful. Look at these displays of magnificent produce. It's the sort of place that I find stimulating, and I'm going to plunge into the very heart of Palermo. It opens every morning at 7:30. Market traders have set up stall here since the 10th century. Local food expert Marcella is my guide to the gastronomic surprises on offer. Marcella!
Ciao, Michael.
Buongiorno, piacere.
Come stai?
The stuff here looks brilliant.
You know, we have this market since the Arabic period. The food comes from a place close by called Balhara. That's why Ballaro.
Balhara is obviously
Balhara,
an
it's
Arab word. Yes.
The Arabs brought here the bitter oranges, the lemons, pistachio. We still continue their tradition. We have been under 13 different rulers. So what you eat today is the result of all of them.
Tell me about the people who live around Palermo. Lots of different nationalities today.
Yeah. There are a lot of immigrants, and they have their own stalls. This is a melting pot. Since the beginning, our dialect is the result of the Arabs, the Spanish.
Have you ever done a DNA test on yourself?
No, but from my surname, Amato, we suppose it's a Spanish.
Well, my DNA shows 50% Spanish, so maybe you and I have a lot in common here.
Why not? I'm blonde like you.
Shall we take a walk through Palermo?
Andiamo.
It has the feel of a souk here. Again, you feel the Arab origin. We're in the Kasbah of Palermo.
It's a Kasbah.
Along with its impressive displays of local produce, the market is famous for the sales patter of its traders and their theatrical calls known as abbagnate.
Questo bello fresco, signore! Dai, ragazzi, si viene a mangiare, prego! Mai dai! Mai dai! Mai dai!
Sicily is renowned as one of Europe's street food hotspots. And with tempting aromas filling my nostrils, I can't wait to tuck in.
Stare in Sicilia a mangiare a Palermo Trattoria del Carmine!
Buongiorno!
Buongiorno, mi dica!
Quanto è il polpo?
5 per un piattino.
5.
Gustare in Sicilia! Mangiare a Palermo le delizie, signora! Grazie!
Grazie lei, grazie.
Gustare in Sicilia! Mangiare a Palermo le delizie!
Fantastico.
Buono!
Sì, sì, sì.
Super fresco.
E qua è tutto
I
buono!
love it.
One of my favorite Italian snacks, rice-filled arancini, originated here under Muslim rule.
The circular one, it's with ragu, with meat.
Allora, con carne, with some meat, please.
Buon appetito, signora!
Grazie.
This is
Le
the
delizie.
queen of the street food.
Arancino! Caldo ve lo diamo, signore! Caldo
This ragu is delicious.
It's so good.
When you come to this market, it isn't just to buy, is it? It's for all the colour. These people are performers. Lei è un cabaret.
Io sono un venditore, un semplice venditore, signora!
Grazie mille.
Thank you!
If you want to sample the authentic taste of a city, you can't beat its markets. Exploring them is an adventure.
Il più bel panino!
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, panino con mezza?
What's he
Panino con
saying?
mezza!
Sandwich with a spleen.
Spleen.
Plain.
Mamma mia.
That sounds exciting.
Palermo #1.
Va bene, va bene. Panino con
Mezza.
milza. Oh my God, look at this stuff. And what's its origin?
It dates back to the Jewish time, when the Jewish, in order to butcher the meat, had to pay a lot of money. So at the end, they want to reuse each part of the animals.
Sicily once had a Jewish population thought to number more than 30,000. But under the Catholic rule of Spain, they were expelled at the end of the 15th century.
Lemon, fromage e più buono!
Grazie.
Prego.
Spleen. Spleen. Help me think about something else. What?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. There we go, ice cream.
Do you like it?
They're buono.
It's very tasty. Sì, sì.
#1.
Sì, sì.
Of course, it's a little bit rubbery, but it really has lots of taste. So, maestro. Grazie.
Ciao, arrivederci.
With all the mixtures in the background of Sicilian people, I feel that you are a kind of salad.
Or lasagna, different layers.
Thank you so much, Marcella. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sicily's reputation for delicious food is reason enough to visit. Adding the stunning beaches, superb climate, and a melting pot of cultures, there's plenty more to tempt you. But the island has experienced a difficult past that reverberates today. Some cities that you visit are picture perfect. They're sleek and they can be a bit smug and they're crowded with tourists. But Palermo struggles. It's trying to shake off a bad reputation. Whenever I visit a place, I like to get to know it, warts and all. In Sicily, that means understanding the baleful influence of organized crime. The modern-day Mafia, known as the Cosa Nostra, was first established in the 19th century. By the 1950s, the island was in the grip of a network of extortion and political corruption. In recent years, an outraged public staged a popular resistance. I'm meeting anti-mafia campaigner Eduardo. A privilege to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
A great privilege for me. And your shirt says it all. But
Yes.
give me some idea, what was it like living in a place like Palermo under the rule of a mob of gangsters?
Yes, imagine that I was born in '75. When I was a child, it was terrible. I mean, the mafia could kill whoever they wanted. Whoever tried to stop or to give them trouble was eliminated. The atmosphere was very heavy.
Yes, and then they were also, of course, taking money from the local businesses, protection money.
Well, yes, protection money, we call it pizzo. It's the way the mafia controls the territory. So when they ask pizzo in a shop, the shop owner gives them money. It's a matter of power.
Failure to comply and pay the pizzo led to violence on the streets, and livelihoods were destroyed until the authorities finally took action. In the 1980s, there were important trials where a lot of mafia were sent down for life sentences.
Yes, in particular, one trial changed the course of events. There were like 477 mafiosi accused of different crimes like extortion, drug traffic, murder, but all of them were accused of being a member of Cosa Nostra. So it was a trial against the mafia.
Two judges, Giovanni Falcone and Paolo Borsellino, led the fight back, but paid the ultimate price.
The mafia decided to have their revenge. On the 23rd of May 1992, they killed Falcone. They put a bomb under the motorway. He died with his wife and 3 bodyguards. And 2 months later, the other prosecutor, Borsellino, was killed with a car bomb too. It was a very tragic event for Italian people.
you were 16 years old. Tell me about the impact on you personally as a boy.
For sure, it was a moment in which a part of you grew up and people start to protest. People start to say, basta, that's enough.
In 2004, Eduardo co-founded a grassroots organization, Addio Pizzo, or Goodbye Extortion.
We started a communication campaign with a very simple sticker reading an entire people that pays pizzo is a people without dignity. We started to gather business and shops whose owners were courageous enough to say, I do not pay the mafia.
Wow.
And eventually, by connecting shop owners and consumers, we created a big movement that is strong enough to keep the mafia away.
You must all be very brave.
Our generation grew up with that shock of 1992, and it was our need to do something eventually.
One of Eduardo's supporters runs a bar on the seafront. Tiziano.
Nice to meet you.
I'm
Welcome
Michael.
to Nauto.
It's lovely to be here. Tiziano has a brother in the police, but that didn't free him from becoming a target. If anything, the opposite.
Anni fa, nel 2009, io avevo una galleria di architettura con un bar, con tanta gente. Ed era in un quartiere full of mafia.
Sì.
E un mafioso della zona, molto famoso, venne da me e mi disse, tu sei un frate, lo sbirro, chiddo con gli occhi azzurri. I said, yes, tuo frate, c'ha vaghio assai qua, sa bene rica. Cosa vuol dire I bless you per un mafioso?
Sì.
Io non ti chiedo il pizzo perché tu sei il fratello di un poliziotto che fa antimafia, ma ugualmente ti do la mia benedizione,
Sì.
Puoi lavorare, quasi quasi mi devi ringraziare ugualmente che io non ti sto chiedendo il pizzo.
The mafioso was demanding that he should be grateful for not having to pay protection money.
Yeah.
Impressionante. Eduardo, if someone came to Palermo for a long weekend as a tourist, would they need to be worried about the mafia?
No, not at all. The mafia, fortunately, nowadays is very, very low profile. Finally, the situation in Palermo is way better, and that's also thanks to the anti-mafia movement.
Today, not only is Palermo one of the safest cities in Italy, but thanks to the courage of locals like Eduardo and Tiziano, it can prosper. It is just such a joy to meet you. I'm so inspired by both of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm spending a long weekend on the Mediterranean island of Sicily. For lunch, I'm taking you to the outskirts of the capital, Palermo, to the coastal resort town of Bagheria, known as the City of Villas. In the 18th century, this was the playground of aristocrats, who built summer houses to escape the heat of the city. It also featured in the film The Godfather Part 3. I'm lucky to be invited to a renowned local restaurant whose menu is inspired by Palermo's vibrant food markets. Michelin star, ho ho ho! Andrea is the sommelier. Hello!
Buongiorno! Welcome to Pupi Restaurant.
What is the sort of concept or philosophy of the restaurant?
All the dishes are mostly from street food, but the ingredients are completely different. It's a little bit the style of our restaurant.
You're making gourmet street food.
Very elegant street food, if you want, with one of the really best ingredients of Sicily.
Very interesting, because I was in the Palermo market and I had some spleen. And if you're not serving spleen here, I'm quite relieved. The restaurant opened in 2009 and has held a prestigious Michelin star for 10 years. In charge is the acclaimed chef, Tony Lococo. Il famoso Tony.
Ciao Michael, vieni qua, dai, gira da questa parte.
He's invited me to cook with him in his outdoor kitchen. What are we making today, Tony?
Oggi faremo un piatto che è della tradizione palermitana, la stighiola.
Stigiola.
Understand stighiola?
It's the guts.
Yes.
And I thought spleen was challenging enough. Sicilian street food favourite stigiola is traditionally made using skewered lamb intestines, seasoned with parsley and cooked over hot coals. Tony's interpretation is intestine-free.
Ok, noi facciamo una rivisitazione della stighiola e faremo di pesce, quindi sarà seppia, tonno, cipollotto e prezzemolo. Allora, fai come tu segui me. Prendiamo la nostra seppia.
So I have to be very precise in the way
tu.
that I position these strands of cuttlefish.
Wow! Ma sei bravissimo.
Oh, thank you so much.
Tu hai
Thank
fatto
you.
il cuoco, no?
No.
No.
I know nothing about
No,
I know nothing about cooking or cuisine.
Allora, tonno.
Tonno.
Mettiamo il tonno qua.
We are going to
Vai,
put
fallo tu.
we're going to put the tuna.
Ok, sì. Però scendi un po' giù, stop, ok.
Going to put onion here.
Così, perfetto. Prezzemolo.
Just like this. Così.
Sì, bravo. Sempre senza un ordine, così, bravo, così.
Come ha imparato a cucinare lei?
Ma io la mia storia è un po' diversa, sono un cuoco autodidatta, non ho mai fatto scuola alberghiere, non ho mai cucinato con grandi chef, tutto quello che ho fatto nella mia carriera è tutto frutto della mia fantasia, del mio amore verso questo lavoro.
Lei mi dice che era artigiano.
Sì.
You say you were an artisan. Che tipo di artigiano?
È nel mondo del vetro. Glass, c'entra niente.
You were a glass fitter?
Yes. Da piccolo. Ho fatto questo lavoro nella famiglia di mio papà, perché
sì.
mio papà, mio
Family
fratello.
business, father's
Ok,
business.
yes. E poi ho voluto cambiare e mi sono fatto trasportare dal cuore e quindi quello che mi piaceva fare nella mia vita era cucinare e questo è quello che faccio fino ad ora. Michael, adesso viene la parte quella difficile, avvolgerla, questa è difficile, mi raccomando.
This is tricky.
Allora, prendiamo questo.
We lift up the ends, of course, yes.
Così.
And we fold them over.
Vai,
Lift up the end.
bravo, avvolgere.
You mean roll?
Yes.
Like roll
vai,
it?
Vai, go,
Sì,
vai.
sì.
No worry. Vai, tira. Così, vai.
Maintain the tension in there.
Go.
I'm rather pleased with that.
Grande Michael, bravo.
After just a minute in the frying pan, our delicate creation is ready to eat.
Andiamo a tagliare la stighiola. Vieni qua. Taglia a pezzettini. Adesso con la seppia, con le sacche della seppia, abbiamo fatto una mollica. Bread. Noi l'illusione che è come se fosse una carbonella. Stighiola di pesce.
So this looks like street food. It's going to be absolutely superb. What brings us back to our roots is that street food is eaten with the fingers.
Assaggio pure io.
Buonissimo. Oh, it's so good. Sicily is a food lover's paradise, with restaurants to suit all budgets. They turn simple, quality Sicilian produce into gastronomic delights.
Cin, grazie
Laura
Michael.
and Tony, thank you so much. We're joined for lunch by Tony's wife and business partner Laura. On the menu, the house classic. Che cosa abbiamo qui?
Qua abbiamo uno spaghetto, sempre artigianale fatto nostro, con della farina siciliana, quindi una farina homemade.
It is served with capers, oregano, lemon zest and botarga, which are the eggs of the tuna fish.
Veniva fatto nelle tonnare, c'era l'uovo del tonno, non si sapeva cosa fare perché allora non c'erano neanche i frigoriferi e quindi si metteva sotto sale, si fa stare sotto sale e poi viene stagionata e poi viene grattugiata sulla pasta.
So the botarga, the eggs of the tuna, obviously are the byproduct of the tuna fishing, which is a hugely traditional thing here in Sicily. You put them on the spaghetti. There's no salt here. It's just the saltiness of the eggs which produces the salt flavor. Why is the food so good in Sicily?
È la materia prima. Noi abbiamo un territorio meraviglioso.
Si dice che il siciliano nasce con la cucina del DNA e il siciliano mangia come se non ci fosse un domani.
Before I check into my hotel, opposite Tony's restaurant, I'm visiting one of the island's many palaces, once home to generations of aristocracy. Intriguingly nicknamed the Villa of Monsters, this pair of gatekeepers offer a taste of what's to come. This is the lovely Villa Palagonia, which was built in 1715 by the third Prince Palagonia. Now, his grandson decided to decorate the palace and the gardens with grotesque statues. Some combine the features of human beings and animals. They are mainly hideous and leering. The Six Princes' grisly collection grew to include 600 figures. Born into great wealth in 1722, he went on to marry the beautiful daughter of a local nobleman. But self-conscious about his looks, he lived as a recluse. Some say that he thought he was very ugly and consoled himself by creating things that were fouler still. Some say that his wife was unfaithful to him and that each time he was cuckolded, he ordered a new grotesque piece for his garden wall. Legend has it that local women feared that glancing at the statues would endanger their unborn children. Inside the elaborate Baroque villa, the prince created a spectacular hall with a ceiling of many mirrors set at angles. Maybe they made him look less hideous than the grotesque statues that he had ordered. Whatever the true story, I don't think that it reflected well on the prince. Inspired by my lunch and the visit to the Villa Palagonia, I'm in the mood for luxury and glamour on my first night in Palermo. A 40-minute taxi ride to the north of the sweeping bay of Palermo is my hotel. A luxurious retreat founded in a period of peace, decadence and prosperity during the Belle Époque before the First World War. It was opened as a hotel in the early 1900s by a legendary entrepreneurial family, the Florios, whose vast business empire spanned fishing, shipping and wine. Buonasera.
Good evening, Mr. Portillo, and welcome to Villa Igea. I am Isabella.
Lovely to see you, Isabella. I'm very pleased to be here.
Thank you.
What does the name mean, Villa Igea?
The hotel is named after the daughter of Franca and Ignazio Florio.
Ah, so it's named after a family member. The hotel was designed by an award-winning architect who founded a Sicilian Art Nouveau movement, inspired by an opulent London department store. Once established, it played host to aristocracy, including Britain's King Edward VII. Its lush, tiered seafront gardens are complemented inside by beautifully decorated rooms inspired by organic forms and colours of nature. Oh, Isabella, what a beautiful room.
This is the Sala Basile, the crowning jewel of Villa Igea.
Was this designed as, what, a ballroom?
Yeah, it was designed for celebrations and events.
Well, it's been beautifully preserved, hasn't it? Everything has remained in place. These exquisite Art Nouveau decorations are known as Liberty style in Sicily, in homage to the luxury London department store.
Is a celebration of nature. We have the morning and is dedicated to sunrise. And here we have the evening, the rising moon.
My bed calls. Luckily, it's just along the corridor.
Enjoy your stay, Mr. Portillo.
Very comfortable room with lovely colours, with peacock-coloured lamps. The theme of Art Nouveau is continued throughout the hotel. It's a style that I like very much indeed. And it continues through the marble bathroom and a grand living room. And I have a terrace. Oh! With marvellous views over the port, over the gardens, over the sea. Anyone for tennis? One reason why Palermo is suitable for the long weekend is you've got to hunt around a little bit, and not everything is by any means obvious. This is a city where prior research is going to pay off. But once you've found the key and opened the door to Palermo, I believe you're just going to have an unforgettable break. I awake on the second day of our long weekend in Sicily, in the capital of this Mediterranean Eden, Palermo. Another glorious spring day reflected on the Mediterranean. I'm truly spoilt. Breakfast on the terrace overlooking a shimmering sea. The perfect setup for the busy day ahead. I am in paradise. Look at the spread before me. Breads and cheeses and fruits from Sicily under a limitless blue heaven. This is for me yet another return to Sicily. But I don't know Palermo well. To be honest with you, I maybe felt a bit intimidated about the city. Felt that it might be a walk on the wild side. Now it is my ambition to get to know its cathedrals and its neighborhoods, to be in its palazzos and in its alleyways. This morning I returned to the city's historic center, where the island's multicultural past can be perceived all around. What a place to meet this is, isn't it? I'm meeting local historian Valentina in front of a splendid 16th century fountain, the Fontana Pretoria, also called the Fountain of Shame. How could such a beautiful thing be called a Fountain of Shame?
Is because we're right in front of the monastery of St. Catherine, so the nuns were overlooking the naked statues.
Ah, yes, of course, of course. Valentina has brought me here especially to see the adjoining Piazza Bellini. It's one architectural feast after another. We leave the beautiful fountain behind, and now we come across these two superb churches.
Yes, two of the most important Arab Norman churches of Palermo city centre.
Arab Norman, which seems an extraordinary idea, Arab and Norman.
It's totally unique.
So exceptional that in 2015, the city was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, as this is the only place in the world where the blend of the two architectural styles exists. This is wild. Such a juxtaposition of difference.
Yes, because when the Normans arrived, for 250 years, Sicily had been under Muslim rule. 80% population was Muslim. So the Normans very intelligently organized a very tolerant reign.
So these churches were commissioned by Christian rulers, but their architects had these strong Islamic influences.
Yes, the Martorana, the bell tower that we see here, which is a beautiful example of the Arab Norman style, because you see these little dark stars made in lava stones, which was typical of the Islamic culture of North Africa.
This lovely church with the three red domes, now that would be very typical of the Islamic style.
Yes, they look like mosques because this is what they were specialized in doing.
Yes, it's magnificent. So what we're seeing here is not only a fascinating combination of architectures, but we're understanding the way that the rulers of the time dealt with the issue of a multiplicity of cultures and religions.
Yes, certainly Palermo expresses being in the center of the Mediterranean.
On your visit, I recommend you also take a look at the inside. How absolutely wonderful. This is superb. It's tiny, but it's perfect.
Maio of Bari, the commissioner, the prime minister, was killed in 1160, and so the church was never finished with the decoration of mosaics. So we can perfectly spot the details of the Arab Norman architecture.
Although we don't have the mosaics on the walls or the ceilings, what we do have is a beautiful floor.
So different precious marble inlay, and it looks like a beautiful carpet or like a garden.
And I must say, if one came to Palermo for a long weekend, I think this church, although so tiny, is really one of the highlights of the city.
Certainly, it's a jewel which exemplifies perfectly the Arab Norman style.
The history of our world has been enormously complicated by the existence of two civilizations, two religions, who both believe in one God, the Christians and the Muslims, and yet have so often been in conflict. Indeed, sometimes they've been involved in the slaughter of each other, as at the time of the Crusades. However, when the Normans invaded Sicily, they accepted what they found in place, the Muslim civilization. And these Arab Norman churches are a celebration of an epoch of respect, tolerance, and coexistence.